Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, SoundCloud, SoundClick. You guys don't forget to check out my album. It's called Just Right There. Just Google it. Tone will come up. Picture of my projects. Anyway, this is another excerpt of The NBA is Fixed. And Kevin Garnett, the kid, has retired. Um, and I mean, what can you say about it? The man was, what, 21, 22 seasons? He was in the game. And I told you guys, that he's probably going to retire. One, it's going to free up some cap space. I don't know what they paid him to leave, but this seems to be the growing trend. You know, pay a player, $5-10 million. An old aging player. Get him out of there. Kevin Garnett had bad knees. He said at the beginning of the season, at the end of last season, that he didn't know if he was going to come back, but he said he wanted to. And I made a video about that, and pretty much talking about that, and then talking about Nowitzki, who just got re-signed, and about when he's going to leave. And if you notice, the marquee players who pretty much make the NBA tick, they usually do in between, I'm going to say, 15 and 20 years, but now they're in it longer. Now it's 20 years and more. I have no doubt in my mind that LeBron James is going to do over 20 years because that money is good to him right now. It's ridiculous. But as far as Garnett is concerned, it was time for him to leave. His knees could not take it anymore. I mean, and a lot of times with these with these basketball players, because of the constant jumping and jarring on the limbs, it's really terrible for you. A lot of them go out because of their knees. I think, who is it? Stoudemire, he just had a knee operation, I think. I could be wrong. Um, Michael Jordan, his knees went out on him when he tried to come back. When he tried to come back with, I think, Washington, he was just terrible because he was in so much pain, and there's only so much painkillers can do. Uh, it's just going to stop you in your tracks. You're just not going to be able to move as easily. The pain the next day from what you've done is just going to be excruciating, and you can only pop so many pills, so many ibuprofens before your liver starts to turn, and you don't want that problem. So it's just time to get out the game. So, but nonetheless, being that the NBA is tossing all this money around, in Supreme Allah, I did get your messages, talking about the Grizzlies trade, and talking about Garnett. But being that they're tossing all this money around, you're going to see players try to stay in the game as long as possible because the money is just ridiculous now. The salary cap is going up. Right now, Cleveland is operating above cap space just to get J.R. Smith done, get his contract done. I think they're 22 million over cap space. So you notice that, who's the guy who governs basketball? I forgot what his name is, but nonetheless, they were having conversations pretty much about money and how to pretty much pay these players more. Then if you look at Stephen A. Smith and look at his, he has his own iPod channel, I guess. But it's on YouTube also. If you listen to what he's saying, he was talking about how all of these players are getting these $100 million contracts that aren't even worth that much, and it dilutes the game. So the so you have an era that's that's leaving now. I mean, you have an era of superstars who are leaving the game, and you have an era of superstars who are, mid-range, as far as age. Then you have an era of players who are coming in, like your Love and your Irvings, who are coming in. They've been in for a few years. You know, everything has just changed because of revenue. and the amount of revenue that's just being tossed around. So, and in light of this, you have you have art, you have people who are you have people who are let's just take Derrick Rose and his constant ailments, Mr. Glass. Uh, I'm still surprised he's still in the NBA. But nonetheless, Derrick Rose has crazy talent. He's just hurt all the time. But like, don't be surprised to see him out of here soon. But you better believe, you better believe that he is going to milk that for as long as he can. And that's just the way it is. So everything is revenue based. This is why you have all these teams switching players and Kevin Durant and all this, and it just hurts to see that because there's no more team anymore. It's when they say there's no I in team, well, this is the reverse effect. There is I in team. It's just all about the individual now. There's no more love for your city. No, nothing. It's all revenue based. It's all commercial based. It's all ran by the same people, the Jewish people, and same people who run the movie industry, same people who run the music industry, uh, and it's terrible because I would love to see an honest game, but I just don't believe there's any honest games anymore. So you know, peace to Kevin Durant, or not Kevin, well him too, but he's still in the game. But Kevin Garnett, I remember when he came in the game young. He got drafted. He came in at just like LeBron James. He came in um, pretty much right out of high school, just killing the game. Just a really dope player, and with a lot of strength, a lot of power, and a lot of heart. Just eyeballing players up and down and talking junk to them. And as he got older, he couldn't do all that stuff anymore, but he was still a threat. And that's what you loved. That's what you had to love about him. He's always a threat. You know what I mean? You could never eyeball him and I'm gonna do this. He was like Shaquille O'Neal. Who's Needs did the same thing. He was a threat. You know, always a threat. So peace to those players who have left the game. Uh, they left in an era where you thought basketball was actually honest, but now you realize it's not honest at all. It's your boy Tone 202. Peace.